All right, so I had to rename my presentation a little bit because business opportunities for building a successful Lightning or Bitcoin business. In order to build a successful business, there needs to be a circular economy in all of this. And so before we start doing that winning, we first need to figure out how to build this circular economy. And I don't claim to have all of the answers. We're still working on this. But this presentation is going to be some of the things. This presentation is going to be status quo, reminder of the big vision, and some of the things that we've learned so far in our work, and sort of sharing a little bit from the Bitrefill's playbook for this stuff, and then a couple of practical stuff. But let's start with the big stuff. I mean, if you think back from when you were first hooked on the idea of Bitcoin, before it became a thing that this number on the phone dictated how you feel that day, right? We all got hooked on some flavor, of a vision of internet money that is free as in speech, right? That is where people can transact freely over the internet, the way that internet works, anywhere in the world. And imagine this. Like, this is my flavor of this. Is imagine a world in which, every website has a grind button, and you click the grind button, and it shows up a microtask. And you do the task, and you get paid right away. and the button doesn't need to know who you are, what you are. You could be whatever. You can live wherever you are, wherever you want. You can be as old as you want. You can be a robot. But that's a separate conversation. And in such a world, where money is finally circulating, there's no longer need for things like remittances, because the money is everywhere already, right? There's no need from going from country to country. There's no need for discussing financial inclusion because it's an app and it gets you access to all of the things that people are building. And so let's think about a little bit like what the progress is so far in fulfilling this particular vision. So just super quick walkthrough. Around 1 billion people know that Bitcoin is money, and they will be happy if they get Bitcoin because Bitcoin is money. So this is pretty cool. I don't know the details of how it works, but this is, I would say, a meaningful achievement. And we already have some tens of millions of people who have invested money in this vision becoming reality. And so for these people, Bitcoin fills the store of value property of money, hodling. And this is cool. And let's go further. Okay, so we have a couple of millions of people who use it to buy stuff. And the thing that they mostly buy with their Bitcoins is they buy other coins, right? But nonetheless, there is an economy in there in which Bitcoin is working as a medium of exchange, because you use Bitcoins to buy the other coins, and it's even a unit of account, right? Because you denominate the value that a Dogecoin is 1,452 satoshis. I don't know, I made it up. But you get the idea. So we have some store of value, some medium of exchange. And we have this whole thing that you can send money from one exchange account to another exchange account. It can be across the world. These companies don't need to have a partnership with each other. This is pretty cool. And this is, I guess, a little bit where Bitrefill comes in, but you can buy stuff with your coins. Some. Like, we're working on making it better, but I would say that already everywhere, wherever you are in the world, you can buy some stuff with your coins. You can live inside of this a little bit. But we all kind of feel that we're not really quite there yet, right? I mean, just a simple point of reference. And don't worry so much about the numbers. Think about the order of magnitude. Just Amazon, just in America, just in this country's economy produces every day 8 million purchases on Amazon on an average day. And what would it look like if the Bitcoin economy produced an equivalent amount, right? If the US is 300-some million people and the Bitcoin economy is 30-some million people, for example, then in theory the Bitcoin economy should be producing a tenth, at least, of that number only in Amazon purchases per day, right? And where are we? Well, the Bitcoin network makes some 600,000 payments per day. Most of them are going between exchanges. If you add some altcoins and so on, you maybe get up to a million, and then which fraction of those are people actually paying and getting paid? Maybe, I don't know, 100,000 if you were being generous, right? Something like that. And this, by the way, is also like the reason why, when you ask why big companies aren't super eager to adopt Bitcoin, is because, well, you know, it doesn't put a dent in the numbers yet. So I want to do like a little exercise. Just imagine this, you know, the iPhone moment, the moment where the societal change starts happening, when people start using this stuff. Like, everybody has a different picture of it, but still, like, what does it look like? What caused it? Why are people doing it? Which tools are they using? What are the narratives, sort of? What do the maximalists think about it? Right? And if we go from there and ask ourselves, if it really was that the tech was the bottleneck today, right? The whole scaling conflict and blah, blah. If it really was, in a similar way, that there was so much demand that it was the tech holding us back, then what would be some things that would be observing? Well, OK, Bitcoin blocks would be full every day, not just during bull market on American business hours. Right, we don't have that. We probably would see Litecoin blocks full, Bitcoin Cash blocks would be full, right? Lightning nodes would all break under pressure. We would have tens of millions or hundreds of millions of downloads of custodial Lightning wallets, and we all would use some type of Tron wallet somewhere, right? and we're clearly not observing this. So it's clearly not that the technology is what's holding us back, at least at this point. I think that's the purpose of my talk, and what I want us as a collective to achieve, you know, is a world where the scaling war is relevant again, right? Where there is a problem, so that we can have something to fight about. But so, OK, a couple of learnings so far. First learning, OK, merchant adoption does not create demand in itself. Right? We learned this a couple of years ago. A bunch of big companies added Bitcoin. Some people bought some stuff, but it didn't put a big dent to the line. Became a bad user experience, and so on. What does create demand is when people have coins to spend. And this is a concept that we think about at Bitrefill, is finding people who have coins to spend. So people who are getting paid in Bitcoin, they will have lots of coins to spend. But people, you know, people who are hodlers, investors, may be not having coins to spend, even if they have some coins. But, you know, Bitcoin goes up. Some of these people move into the other category. And I'm going to get back to that a little bit. Another principle that we've learned. The instant is infinitely faster. Right? And this is a truism, but it's one of those things that after a while, we've gotten accustomed to as Bitcoiners to always be waiting around for stuff. Right? You wait around for confirmations. You wait around for your KYC to work out. You sort of you wait around for Segwit to activate. You know, and things that are instant. I mean, if you're getting your customer to do something, you want them to be able to complete it right away, right? In today's attention economy, if the customer has to wait, they're probably going to do something else. Like, think about those of you who have a Lightning wallet, non-custodial one, with coins on it. Like, how long it took to get that working. Right? A big part of that is because you do the first step, you have to wait. You get back the next day. You do the next step, you wait, get back the next day, and so on. Another principle, we talk about recklessness. I would say the real recklessness is to not learn the lessons. Right? I mean, you shouldn't encourage other people to be reckless, but as a company, for me, you know, losing a fraction of a Bitcoin due to some bug is infinitely better than having the whole company rowing in the wrong direction for a month or two, right? So it's putting some perspective on the priorities. And just a reminder that Lightning is just infinitely better UX. Like, from what we're seeing at Bitrefill is that the support tickets that we do get from Lightning are purely about onboarding. So it's like, how can I open my first Lightning channel, and so on. There's not so many about that. Hey, I paid and it was wrong and something went wrong and can you refund me and blah, blah. Like, Lightning payments, they either happen or they don't. There's no jibber jabber. And in that sense, everything is a lot easier. So okay, super quick walkthrough, but like just to remind, like what our Lightning customers look like. A big chunk still look like this. Right? This is what Lightning looks to them. So we're still in a very sort of early adopter coder type person phase. We have people that for whom Lightning looks like this, using one of the popular wallets for Android, and we have people who use one of the hosted custodial wallets. There's the Blue wallet and the wallet of Satoshi, where don't hold your keys, it's not your Bitcoin, but they have somewhat of a user experience. And so, OK, what's missing? Like, what are the customers that we're waiting for showing up for tomorrow? First and foremost, we're waiting for the iPhone wallet for mainnet. Is Jack here? Mellors? Waiting for the mainnet app. I think we all are. We're seeing that the browser moves closer and closer into the wallet. This is the Joule extension that presented yesterday. And we're seeing stuff also in the community with projects like Gab and Opera and so on, where the browser is merging with the wallet. And if you think about it, it makes more sense that the browser makes a wallet than the other way around. So that's something that I'm excited about seeing, as well as seeing things like Joule get tighter integrated into the wallet themselves. We're going to start seeing professional custodial services, but with Lightning. And this is maybe not technically so exciting, but I think if we and the Square Cash people are investing heavily into Bitcoin, so it's not unthinkable that the Square Cash wallet will be scanning Lightning at some point. And how, what does that change? And a biggie, and this is maybe controversial, but we're all waiting for the exchanges to get on board with the Lightning. And this is not any type of announcement in any way, but for an exchange, eventually they will realize that, hey, if we can massively cut down our support tickets for all of the issues related to deposits and withdrawals, yeah, that's like just that. And then there's the whole instant is infinitely faster. As an exchange, you probably want your customers to be gambling right away, just right after they deposit it. And the reality is also to keep in mind is that in the Bitcoin network, like exchange traffic is like the vast majority of all of the traffic. Like we see, if you look at like batched payments, then like 54-something% of all payments on the Bitcoin network were batched. So it comes from an exchange, right? And that doesn't include the exchanges that didn't even do batching yet. Coinbase, BitMEX as well. So it is a reality, and I'm not saying that it's a good thing. I'm just observing it. That the companies are already first-class citizens in this ecosystem, and we can sort of think what we want about it, but we can observe it and sort of figure out how we can get that experience to be a lot better. For somebody like Bitrefill, a customer that is paying from their Binance wallet, if they're paying with a regular Bitcoin transaction, it's going to cause us a lot of issues. But if they pay with a Lightning transaction, it's going to be like this. And then there's the interesting thing with Lightning is that we can start building utility services that are non-custodial, but are still paid and offered by companies. And one such service that we built is Thor. And Thor, you can think of it as a Lightning service provider, right? A little bit similar to how an internet service provider connects the internet to your phone. Thor connects the Lightning network to the wallet on your phone, right? And we named him after the Greek god Thor, who in the Nordic mythology was a Lightning service provider, right? So, and so we're working towards to at the same time sort of making the custodial experience better, but also making the non-custodial experience better and more attractive so that more people move towards that. A couple of next steps on this journey that I think it's time for us to go through. We need to get the exchanges on board. I already talked about this. We're waiting for the iPhone and desktop wallets that are non-custodial and that work with mainnet, with real money and real stuff. We need bigger channels. Probably at some point we're going to start violating this 0.16 Bitcoin per Lightning channel rule, because best customers should have the best user experience, right? Like, why should the best customers not be able to use the best utility? That doesn't make sense. And then there's the question of the gig economy. And I think this is one of the massively unsolved questions in the crypto space. And there's a lot of interesting things that are being done in that regard. The L&D Work project is doing excellent progress in that regard. And there's a bunch of other microtasks, tipping economy, and so on that are starting to get some traction. Just need to figure out and configure these things into the right way so that it can start circulating and taking off. Then a little bit on a positive note at the end. As you may have noticed, the Bitcoin price has been positive the last month or so, and we're sort of as a company we're observing how the hodlers are rising, and it's very interesting that if you look at and this is a screenshot from our metrics, and this doesn't have last week's, which is also interesting in this way, but when the Bitcoin price spikes, we see more transactions from more people for larger amounts, right? And so this makes sense with the whole coins to spend. People that they have some Bitcoins, goes up in value, feel like maybe I should spend some of it, buy something, be part of creating the circle of transactions going around, people paying other people, and getting paid. So yeah, I'm going to stop here. My plug is that we're working hard at this stuff, but we're looking for lots of help of every way, partnerships, people of every role. So don't be shy and reach out to us at hello@bitrefill.com. Thank you.